Tilla. Senator Warren, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all of our nominees, and welcome to your families who are here or watching remotely. Mr. Lohman, you've been nominated to be the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Sustainment, and that means that for now you'll be overseeing the military's housing program for service members. Now, no one should have to live with black mold, leaking and collapsed roofs, or exposed electrical wires in their home. It is indefensible that that was the case for military families. A Department of Defense Inspector General report last year found that the department is dragging its feet on two major reforms that Congress passed to address these deplorable conditions: creating a public complaint database for tenants and a tenant's bill of right. 2 years in, and neither of these have been done. So, Mr. Lohman, I know these things take time to stand up, but will you make sure that a publicly available complaint database is created this year? 2022?
Senator, thank you. So I couldn't agree more that our service members deserve the right to live in housing that is safe, it is suitable, and it is healthy.
Good. Thank you. I just want a commitment here. Am I going to get this database in 2022?
Senator, the DSD just created a new position, an Assistant Secretary of Defense for the environment, energy, and installations. So that portfolio has been removed from the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Sustainment's portfolio. What I can commit to, if confirmed, is working with the ASD, EI&E, for a smooth and deliberate transition of resources, and as well as the policies and personnel to make sure that these
But you can't put your name behind getting this done? It's a database, a complaint database. This is not rocket science. And we're in year 3 of people who want to be able to tell you about things like rat infections and black mold. I would think that the military would want to know about this.
Senator, I agree. And I work very closely with the ASD, EI&E to make sure that organization makes progress on this.
Well, I would like to hear you make your commitment on this. And the same is true for a tenant's Bill of Rights. Is this also just a lateral pass to somebody else?
No, ma'am, I'll commit to my personal involvement in better understanding the issues surrounding
I appreciate the involvement. I want a commitment to get it done. We're in year 3. This is not hard.
Senator, I certainly understand your question. And if confirmed as the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Sustainment, I will do everything in my authority to make sure that these two things get completed this year.
Well, I'm not doing great here, but I've got more requests, but I'll put those in my QFRs. Let me ask another line of questions here. Mr. Storch, you've been nominated to serve as the DoD Inspector General, which makes you the Pentagon's top watchdog. Your job, obviously, is going to be to shine a light on waste and misconduct and abuses of power, and also to tell us when officials or organizations are thwarting your investigations or trying to hide your findings from the public. And there are a lot of ways that might happen, but I want to talk to you about the one that's keeping me up at night right now. I'm becoming very concerned about how much the Pentagon is keeping from the public through pseudo-classification. That is, classifying something that doesn't need to be kept secret, classifying it just so that there's less public scrutiny. Mr. Storch, do you commit to notifying this committee if you believe that your work is being wrongfully restricted or pseudo-classified or over-classified?
Senator, this is an area in which I do have some experience, not necessarily with pseudo-classification, but when I came on board as the NSA IG, we weren't doing any public reporting at all at our office. As I say, we basically just had a page on the agency site, which didn't have any content. And we've worked hard to advance transparency in our oversight work there in the ways that I discussed in my opening statement, and worked very well with the agency to make sure that happens. And I've got to say we've gotten good cooperation with agency leadership. So I'm going to work on that. I would work with the agency to make sure that it's done right. And if I have any problems, I absolutely wouldn't hesitate to come to the committee.
That's what I want to hear. Yes, I want to give you an example of where this pseudo-classification hinders the oversight process. Numerous investigations by the press, by independent analysts, and by civil society watchdogs have shown that our investigations into civilian casualties are seriously flawed, and that is probably too kind a statement. It is a broken system. The DoD IG has looked into this as well, but many of the DoD IG's findings about these failures are completely redacted, not because they are classified, but because they are marked, quote, for official use only. I suspect that more oversight from DoD IG would help us fix this broken system, but it's not going to happen unless we enhance transparency significantly. So I appreciate your comments on this. I anticipate you're going to be a partner in getting this done. If you have problems, you're going to come talk to us, and we'll get it straightened out. We have a right to know. The public has a right to know. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Hawley, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all the nominees. Thank you for being here. Mr. Storch, let me start with you. The Special IG for Afghanistan, Cigar, has provided a valuable report.